morning and welcome to Hornbill TV's Prime Time. This is your anchor Kekrajanya Solo. First, the headlines. A tri-party discussion involving the central government, the Manipur state government and the United Naga Council UNC, where the parties mutually agreed that a proposal for rolling back the creation of 7 new districts in Manipur. Washington DC Mayor Muriel Bowser, addressing the situation, stated that the authorities are working closely with American Airlines to provide accurate updates as quickly as possible, while adding that they were uncertain if there were any survivors. The Union Budget session will begin tomorrow. President Draupadi Murmu will address the Parliament opening the session. The central highlight of the session will be the Union Budget presentation by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. The Joint Committee of Parliament on Waqf Amendment Bill 2024 on Thursday submitted their report to Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla at his Parliament House of Office. Those were the top headlines, and now for the news in details. A tri-party discussion involving the central government, the Manipur state government and the United Naga Council UNC, a Naga apex body, was held on Thursday in Senapati district. The parties mutually agreed that a proposal for rolling back the creation of the 7 new districts in Manipur would be presented by state government representatives in the next round of talks. According to a joint statement signed by representatives of the UNC, the state and the centre, the meeting chaired by advisor Notice to the Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India deliberated on the Manipur government's decision on creation of 7 new districts. The notification for the creation of these districts was issued under White Notification number 16/20/2016, dated December 8, 2016. The Naga apex body has been demanding a rollback of the decision. Currently, Manipur is subdivided into 16 districts after the formation of 7 new districts, including Tengnupal, bifurcated from Chandel, Kamjong from Ukhrul, Periswal from Churachandpur, Kangpokpe from Senapati, Jiribam from Imphal East, Kakching from Thubal, and Nune from Tamenglong. After thorough discussions, it was mutually agreed that the proposal will be presented by representatives of the state government in the next tripartite meeting scheduled for April 2025. The joint statement read, the statement was signed by N.J. Lorho, President of the United Naga Council, Vario Satsang, UNC General Secretary, M. Luikwing Lakson, President of the AII Naga Student Association Manipur, C.H. Priscilla Tuimai, President of the Naga Women's Union, Chief Secretary of Manipur Prashant Kumar Singh, Commissioner Home, N. Ashok Kumar from the Manipur government, and A.K. Mishra, Advisor NE MHA, representing the central government. The meeting was attended by 8 government officials, including interlocutor A.K. Mishra, along with 12 delegates from the UNC. Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh on Thursday reiterated that the state government's opposition is to the new immigrants in the state who are engaged in drug-related activities and not against anyone who has settled from before. Speaking at an interaction program at Kangabok in Thubal district, Singh said there are many who still do not understand the current issues in the state, which is why it was important to understand and realize who the real opponents and who are attacking the state. Singh said too much politics have confused the people and created internal conflicts as well. The Chief Minister also said that even politicians are hand in gloves with those who want to break Manipur. He alleged there are such agents in Imphal Valley who are on the same side with those who want to break Manipur. Heading on to the next news. A tragic mid-air collision occurred near Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport today, involving an American Airlines passenger plane and a military helicopter. Both aircraft crashed into the water, prompting immediate rescue operations, according to updates. Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser addressed the situation in a press conference, stating that authorities are now working closely with American Airlines to provide accurate updates as quickly as possible. She confirmed that 64 individuals were aboard the American Airlines flight, while 3 people were on the military helicopter. At this time, the number of casualties and additional details about the recovery process remain unclear. Rescue teams face challenging conditions to their efforts to locate and save survivors. John Donnelly, Chief of DC Fire and EMS, highlighted the difficulties on the operation. Donnelly informed that the water they are operating is about 80 feet deep and the conditions are extremely hazardous. There is wind, pieces of ice, and the water is dark and murky, and these conditions make it tough for the divers to work in.
Speak for the people of Washington, 700,000 of us who are extremely sorry for the families who are experiencing loss tonight. And so we want you to know that we will continue to work with American Airlines to share information as frequently as possible and make sure that we're getting accurate information out to the public. But my sorrow for all of the people and crew on the plane and our military personnel on. Yes, both aircraft are in the water. The focus now is rescuing people, and that's what all of our personnel are focused on. And Chief, I think he's given a pretty good description, but if there's anything else you want to add, Chief.
I would just say that the boats are out doing searches. We have divers on both aircraft, and they're searching the aircraft at this point.
Right. Yes.
Have any survivors been found, and how many bodies have been recovered?
All we can confirm tonight is the number of people on each aircraft, 64 people on the American Airlines plane and 3 people on the military helicopter. And we can't provide any more information about recovery efforts.
The 2 people talked about lost loved ones. So how do you know that there might be people that lost loved ones?
I didn't say I didn't know people had lost loved ones. I said we can't talk about any of
the challenges are access. The water that we're operating in is about 8 feet deep. There is wind. There is pieces of ice out there. So it's just dangerous and hard to work in. And because there's not a lot of lights, you're out there searching every square inch of space to see if you can find anybody. The divers are doing the same thing in the water. The water is dark. It is murky. And that is a very tough condition for them to dive in. The question about the river, we'll make that decision later. The Coast Guard's on scene, and I would expect that it's not a high use time in the river, and we should not expect to have recreational traffic on.
There was the mayor's statement on the Washington water tragedy. We'll now take a short break.
अपनी स्थापना के रजत जयंती वर्ष में प्रवेश कर चुके युवा राज्य उत्तराखंड 38वें राष्ट्रीय खेलों के सफल आयोजन की बड़ी जिम्मेदारी निभाने के लिए पूरी तरह तैयार है। प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री श्री पुष्कर सिंह धामी के आग्रह को स्वीकार करते हुए भारतीय ओलंपिक संघ ने योग और मलखंभ जैसे 2 पारंपरिक खेलों को भी राष्ट्रीय खेल का हिस्सा बना दिया है। हाल ही में राजधानी देहरादून में आयोजित एक भव्य कार्यक्रम में मुख्यमंत्री ने 38वें राष्ट्रीय खेलों के शुभंकर प्रतीक, मौली, लोगो, जर्सी, एंथम और टैगलाइन का अनावरण किया। इस अवसर पर उत्तराखंड में राष्ट्रीय खेलों के लिए टैगलाइन संकल्प से शिखर तक घोषित की गई।
मैं देवभूमि उत्तराखंड के सभी लोगों की तरफ से आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का धन्यवाद प्रदान करता हूं।
28 जनवरी से 14 फरवरी 2025 तक चलने वाले राष्ट्रीय खेलों का सुंदर लोगो और शुभंकर मौली दोनों ही उत्तराखंड के राजकीय पक्षी मोनाल से प्रेरित है, जो प्रदेश की विशिष्टता को प्रदर्शित करने के साथ उत्तराखंड की प्राकृतिक सुंदरता और विविधता के रंगों को भारत के प्रत्येक कोने तक पहुंचाएगा।
उत्तराखंड को बधाई देना चाहता हूं जो इन खेलों का आयोजन कर रहे हैं। उत्तराखंड ने इस आयोजन को एक नया रूप और दृष्टिकोण दिया है।
राष्ट्रीय व अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर पदक लाने वाले खिलाड़ियों को सरकारी नौकरी देने के साथ साथ प्रदेश में नई खेल नीति लागू कर विभिन्न माध्यमों से राज्य में खेल और खिलाड़ियों को लगातार प्रोत्साहित कर रही है उत्तराखंड सरकार। उत्तराखंड में 38वें राष्ट्रीय खेलों के भव्य आयोजन में आपका स्वागत है।
Welcome back. Heading on to the next news. Amid Trump's crackdown against illegal immigrants, Guatemala received another wave of deportees from the US. 187 nationals returned on 2 separate flights to their native country. According to Guatemalan Migration Institute, among the deportees were 16 unaccompanied minors, 47 women and 124 men, local officials reported. At reception center, deportees processed paperwork and collected their belongings while sharing their experiences. President Trump announced the will order Pentagon Homeland Security to prepare migrant facility at Guantanamo Bay for over 30,000 immigrants. U.S. naval base in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba already houses a migrant facility separate from the high-security U.S. prison from foreign terrorism suspects. This move to house tens of thousands of migrants at the base would again widen the Pentagon's role in Trump's crackdown on illegal immigrants.
I'm also signing an executive order to instruct the Departments of Defense and Homeland Security to begin preparing the 30,000-person migrant facility at Guantanamo Bay. Most people don't even know about it. We have 30,000 beds in Guantanamo to detain the worst criminal illegal aliens threatening the American people. Some of them are so bad we don't even trust the countries to hold them because we don't want them coming back, so we're going to send them out to Guantanamo. This will double our capacity immediately, right? And that's a tough place to get out of. Today's signings bring us one step closer to eradicating the scourge of migrant crime in our communities once and for all. And it was just it's just an unforced error that we even have to be doing this. Now we need Congress to provide full funding for the complete and total restoration of our sovereign borders, as well as financial support to remove record numbers of illegal aliens. And these are illegal alien killers, criminals at levels that nobody's ever seen before. And you would have known that, and you were there when I said it. I said everybody that's bad is going to be thrown. If you look at Venezuela, Venezuela's crime is down 77% because they've taken their gang members, their prisoners, their drug dealers, their drug lords. They've shipped them all into the United States. Many other countries, their crime is way down, and our crime is not doing well. But we're going to have it do really well very soon, and we're shipping all these people back where they came from.
The Union Budget session will begin tomorrow. President Draupadi Murmu will address the Parliament opening the session. The central highlight of the session will be the Union Budget presentation by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, who is expected to outline the government's economic strategy for the next fiscal year. With a focus on economic recovery post-pandemic and addressing key concerns such as inflation, unemployment and slow economic growth, the budget is likely to include proposals aimed at stimulating investment, boosting infrastructure and offering relief to vulnerable sections of the society. Meanwhile, opposition parties are preparing to question the government and have been meeting over the past week. One of the major points of contention is expected to be the government's handling of subsidies, which opposition leaders argue has disproportionately affected marginalized communities. Opposition parties have also accused the government of promoting corporate interests at the cost of the rural economy. The session also expects to discuss issues on governance, federalism and political autonomy. Today, an all-party meeting is being held at Parliament Annex head of the budget session. Leaders from various parties are present at the meeting, according to updates. The Joint Committee of the Parliament on Waqf Amendment Bill 2024 on Thursday submitted their report to the Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla at his Parliament House office. The report was handed to the Speaker by the panel chairman Jagdambika Pal, and on Wednesday the panel adopted its report by 15 to 11 majority vote. It contained changes suggested by the members of the ruling party BJP, prompting the opposition to adopt the exercise and attempt to destroy Waqf boards. Opposition members submitted dissent notes to the report. BJP members insisted that the bill introduced in the Lok Sabha in August last year seeks to bring modernity, transparency and accountability in the management of Waqf properties. On the other hand, the opposition termed it an attack on the constitutional rights of the Muslim community and interference in the functioning of Waqf boards. Committee members and BJP MP Nishikant Dubey, commenting on this, said that no other committee has done such work as this committee has done in the history of JPC. The JPC received 1.5 crore presentation from all over the nation and 38 meetings of JPC were held.
वक्फ बोर्ड पर जेपीसी बनी थी, उसकी क्या कहना है सर? इस रिपोर्ट में क्या कुछ है?
देखिए, इस कमेटी ने जितना काम किया, मुझे लगता है कि जेपीसी के इतिहास में इतना बड़ा काम शायद किसी कमेटी कोई इतना मौका नहीं मिलेगा। 1.5 करोड़ रिप्रेजेंटेशन आए पूरे देश में और 1.5 करोड़ रिप्रेजेंटेशन के आधार पर और 38 मीटिंग की यहाँ जेपीसी ने उन सबों को कंपाइल करके एक प्रॉपर रिपोर्ट बनाना, जो संशोधन सरकार ने किए थे उस संशोधन के अलावा सांसदों का अपने तरफ से 6 महीने में संशोधन देना, 14 नए संशोधन, प्रिंसिपल एक्ट में एक और नया संशोधन जेपीसी ने अपनी सीमा से ज़्यादा बढ़कर जो है रिकमेंडेशन किया है। तो मुझे लगता है कि भारत के इतिहास में गरीब मुसलमानों को, महिलाओं को, अनाथों को अधिकार दिलाने का इससे बड़ा बिल शायद आज़ादी के बाद नहीं आया।
इस संसद के जो बजट सत्र में इस बिल के पारित होने की उम्मीद है?
ये तो आप सरकार और स्पीकर साहब तय करेंगे, ये उनका डोमेन है। जेपीसी का जितना डोमेन था, जेपीसी ने अपना डोमेन पूरा कर दिया। रिपोर्ट जो है हमने सौंप दी और वो रिपोर्ट अब पब्लिक में आप लोगों के सामने है और इसकी अब विवेचना होगी पब्लिक में कि जो सरकार ने रिपोर्ट बनाई थी और जेपीसी ने जिसके आधार पर पूरा मेहनत करके जो रिपोर्ट बनाया वो एक ऐतिहासिक बिल है और इस ऐतिहासिक बिल को मुसलमानों के सम्मान के साथ, गरीब मुसलमानों के सम्मान के साथ, अनाथों के सम्मान के साथ, महिलाओं के सम्मान के साथ कैसे जोड़ा जेपीसी ने और सरकार ने कितना अच्छा बिल आया है, ये सभी लोगों को पता चलेगा। वोट बैंक की राजनीति समाप्त।
निशिकांत जी, आज
There was JPC on Waqf bill report. We'll now take another short break. Stay tuned.
तेरह जनवरी पौष पूर्णिमा से 26 फरवरी महाशिवरात्रि तक महाकुंभ 2025 का साक्षी बन रहा है प्रयागराज का संगम तट। 45 दिनों तक चलने वाले पृथ्वी के सबसे बड़े मानव समागम में करोड़ों श्रद्धालु पुण्य की डुबकी लगाकर बन रहे हैं सांस्कृतिक एकता के सहभागी। यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी के मार्गदर्शन और माननीय मुख्यमंत्री योगी आदित्यनाथ के कुशल नेतृत्व से महाकुंभ बना है दिव्य, भव्य, डिजिटल। कुंभ सहायक चैटबॉट ने 11 भाषाओं में हर सेवा की जानकारी देकर एकता के महासंगम को बनाया है स्वच्छ, सुरक्षित, सुव्यवस्थित। नए घाट, रिवर फ्रंट रोड, पांटून पुल, फ्लाईओवर, चमचमाती सड़कें, पार्किंग, हजारों बस और ट्रेन, नवीन एयरपोर्ट टर्मिनल, आधुनिक टेंट सिटी जैसी सुविधाओं से पुण्य स्नान हुआ है आसान। महाकुंभ का है अटल संदेश, एकजुट हो अपना देश।
ब्लैक टाइगर सीमेंट, कमाल का काम टाइगर है ना।
13 जनवरी पौष पूर्णिमा से 26 फरवरी महाशिवरात्रि तक महाकुंभ 2025 का साक्षी बन रहा है प्रयागराज का संगम तट 45 दिनों तक चलने वाले पृथ्वी के सबसे बड़े मानव समागम में करोड़ों श्रद्धालु पुण्य की डुबकी लगाकर बन रहे हैं सांस्कृतिक एकता के
Welcome back. Heading on to the next news. The Election Commission has demanded Arvind Kejriwal submit by 11 a.m. Friday factual evidence to back his claims that the Bharatiya Janata Party's Haryana's government, which he had accused of mixing poison in Yamuna River water supply to Delhi, had therefore attempted genocide. The commission directed Arvind Kejriwal to answer a series of questions, including what kind of poison was used, which detected and who detected its presence, and how and where it was found. In a letter to the Aam Aadmi Party chief this morning, the poll body dismissed last night's submission, a social media post in which Mr. Kejriwal cited Delhi Jal Board data that said ammonia levels in the Yamuna had reached critical levels and that it was extremely poisonous for human health. The EC acknowledged receipts of claims of a sharp increase in ammonia levels in the water, but indicated it would not concern itself with the AAP's allegations of deliberate act of water terrorism. This issue, it said, would be left to the competence and discretion of the governments. Instead, the poll body rebuked the former Delhi Chief Minister for being entirely silent on their widely circulated statement of poisoning of Yamuna by government of Haryana with intention to cause genocide in Delhi and equating it with an act of war between two nations. Prima facie these comments, the EC also said, had been found as promoting disharmony and enmity between different groups and overall public disorder and unrest. That such allegations have been made at a delicate time for peak campaign for next week's Delhi Assembly elections, the EC continued prima facie pose a serious risk of endangering peace and harmony between the states. The poll panel then gave time to file a specific and pointed reply. The row over poison in the Yamuna erupted on Monday after Kejriwal accused the BJP of having contaminated the water supply to create chaos, hoping that the blame will then fall on his party. His remarks were amplified. Chief Minister Atishi, who accused the BJP of water terrorism and wrote to Lieutenant Governor V.K. Saxena to red flag dangerous levels ammonia 700 times the limit. At least 30 people were killed and 60 others injured in a stampede that broke out at the Mahakumbh Mela in the early hours of Wednesday, Deputy Inspector in General Vaibhav Krishna confirmed at a press conference in Prayagraj. The officer said that 25 of the deceased have been identified so far. Among those injured, 36 are undergoing treatment at the hospital and the rest have been sent with the families. The pre-dawn stampede at the Sangam area of the Mahakumbh broke out as crores of pilgrims jostled for space to take a holiday on the occasion of Mauni Amavas, one of the most auspicious days. Earlier, Vaibhav Krishna said situations had brought in control, while Juna Akhara, along with two other Akharas, would be going for Amrit Snan and Triveni Sangam on the Mahakumbh Mela. The stampede took place while pilgrims tried to jump barricades erected for a procession of Holy Man, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath said in a televised statement. There was on the stampede in Prayagraj for the Kumbh Mela. That's all for now. For more news, stay tuned and keep watching HornbillTV.